What's up, guys? It's Jason here from Tarot Trading. Yes, I'm in my oddities room, which is the spooky room, a lot of people like to say. I think it's very comfortable for me, but I love it. But today we're going to talk about these guys, Ouija boards, and these 6 hard rules that you should follow for a positive Ouija experience. Yes, you can have a positive Ouija experience, which I guess mainstream media, the movies, they don't like to show that. Obviously, it's not any fun, right? But there is a chance that you jumping on the board with a group of people trying to contact Aunt Edna, there may be a good chance that could work out for you. But you got to follow these 6 rules. So let's get right to it. First off, never use a Ouija board alone. Now, why don't use a Ouija board alone? Because normally when you're using something alone, you're doing something alone, you're looking for answers, you're by yourself, you're probably not in the proper headspace. You're probably not, you got a lot of negative energy flowing through you. It could be depression, it could be, it could be some type of addiction problems or anything like that. Most people are just, when they jump on a board by themselves, oh, I need help with this, someone help me out there. And what that, to me, equates is you're vulnerable, okay? And malevolent spirits love people who are vulnerable, right? Perfect example, you're walking home at night, midnight in the city. It's raining, it's cold, it's a little creepy out. And you're like, man, I could cut off 5 minutes of my walk home if I just go through this really dark alley. Now, going through that really dark alley by yourself, not a good idea, right? I think we're all pretty much aware of that, right? But going with 3 or 4 friends, a little bit more safer, right? So I treat that the same way when using a Ouija board. Team up, have some friends over. This will help keep anything negative away, if you ask me. All right, number 2, never leave the planchette on the board. Now, what is that? It's you leave it kind of like an open line of communication, right? The easier way I can say this, so say you live on a 2nd floor of a house, and you at night you decide just to leave your window open, right? Leave your window open. It's a nice night, whatever. Everybody walking by can see that window open, right? And but doesn't mean everybody's going to want to try to climb your house and get through the 2nd floor window to cause harm to you. But there's always somebody. There's always somebody. But so that's how I look at leaving a planchette on the board. It's easy, guys. Take the planchette off when you're done. Set it to the side in that line of communication, and things will be good, man. Okay. Number 3. This is a weird one, and it's kind of funny, but never use a Ouija board in a graveyard, all right? Now, I know it's the goth thing to do, man. It's the edgy thing to do, but what graveyards are like ground zero, right? This is a party line. I know I'm old, you're not, but a lot of people back in the day, like when telephones first came up, you pick up the phone, and everybody in your neighborhood could be on that same fucking line, right? And that's what, to me, playing with a Ouija board in a graveyard, it's kind of like that, right? So what happens in the graveyard? What's in the graveyard? There's a lot of specters. There's a lot of recently deceased people, and what it is your pieces of your body, your spirit, hover around your grave for a little while before, if you believe in this stuff, by the way, before it dissipates and makes this eventual journey one way, up or down, anywhere, whatever, So there's these specters that are confused. They're angry. They're like, why am I dead? I'm hovering around why am I looking at my grave? What's going on? A lot of these things are called shades as well, and blah, blah, blah. We'll get into that in another video. But you're in a graveyard and you're trying to open a line of communication with the spirit world. We've got plenty to work with, and it may not be what you want to come through that line. So just do me a favor. There's no need. The specters in the graveyard are confused enough. Don't mess with them, man. So yeah, we'll just leave it at that. Don't use it. It's cool. It looks good. Do a photo shoot and move on, man. Number 4. Never ask when you're going to die, okay? It's, once again, the edgy thing to do, the cool thing to do, when am I going to die? I'm telling you right now, no one in the spirit world really knows, okay? And if they tell you a date, if you're all of a sudden you're doing the Ouija board, when am I going to die, and a date comes up, that's probably 99% someone trying to trick you, okay? And it's probably not the spirit you're looking for. It could be an inhuman spirit. It could be something, like I said, malevolent, that is trying to mess with you. And once again, the ultimate goal is to get you to break down, now depress you, and now you're easily more oppressed. And then you can get into the possession side of things or whatever. The 1973 film Exorcist was a brilliant example of what not to do. Once again, you're playing with the Ouija board by itself, and then you can see what happened from there. So, okay. Number 5. Always say goodbye, all right? This prevents lurking spirits from coming through, And plus, you know, if we're going to have a conversation, when me and you are talking and like halfway through the conversation, you just walk away, that's rude, right? So don't be rude. Say goodbye at the end, or move your planchette to the goodbye mark right there, or the line or whatever. I would say 99% of the Ouija boards out there have a goodbye or a fin or, you know, something ending the conversation. So that lets everybody on both sides know we're done for tonight. Thank you so much, and we're moving on or whatever. But not saying goodbye could piss people off, right? And then you're not saying goodbye, leave the planchette on the Ouija board, and you're playing by yourself, and you're in a graveyard. Oh shit! No, I'm just kidding. So at the end of the day, say goodbye, okay? Just like you would in a normal conversation. All right, so the sixth one, and this is an important one because this has actually happened, and people have brought this to our shop and surrendered a Ouija board that was burnt. That's right, never ever burn a Ouija board, okay? Ouija boards, once again, a lot of times people think they're possessed. They're not, all right? They're not possessed. They're a tool from talking to the other side, and when you do things wrong or you get contacted by something you don't want to talk to anymore, you're like, I need to get rid of this board. You light it on fire, and guess what? Things just get a lot worse. Now, what happens when you light a Ouija board on fire? It releases all the negative energy that's built up in this thing, right? And we're just like, fine, go somewhere. But here's the problem. Burn a Ouija board, all that negative energy, it doesn't just hang out in the wind and just float around. It doesn't do that. Negative energy loves to attach itself to a person, to an object, or whatever. So it's going to find something super close, super near to where it's getting released from and attach to that. And now you may have a bigger problem, okay? So that being said, how do I get rid of a Ouija board? Super simple. You break it down, you break the board into 7 pieces. Now, what is the 7 pieces? I'll be the first person to say I've heard so many different things, I don't know the actual true answer to that. I've heard it represents 7 continents. I've heard it represents different signs, blah, 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 all types of stuff. That's something I'll get back to you. Or if you know, put it in the comments. Why 7 pieces? I don't have a solid answer for that, but I know you break it into 7 pieces. You sprinkle holy water on it, and you bury it face down. Now, it doesn't have to be buried in a graveyard. Just go out in the desert, go out in the woods, and bury this thing, all right? Face down, throw some holy water on it. You won't have a problem ever again. So there you guys go. There are your 6 hard rules, all right? I know there's videos out there that have like 400 rules, and I think a lot of that's, to be dead honest, is a lot of it's just people making stuff up and going from there. But I've never heard of someone who there's 14 rules to a Ouija board, there's 28 rules to a Ouija board. I don't know. I could be wrong. I've been around the Ouija board business for a bit, and I study it a lot. So, but I know these are pretty good 6 hard rules. There's a few more rules out there that I don't think are as important. So this is why I just threw these in here. So, and this will help you. Follow these rules. You may have a positive experience with the Ouija board. I'm not saying don't use a Ouija board. Just be careful. All right. All right. We'll see you next time. Make sure you keep it creepy.